Welcome back, guys. So now we'll be able to create two versions of the food bank flyers. So right now, what we want to do, I want to create a custom design. So all I have to do is to use the custom size. So I'll be using the custom size right now. I'll just make it like an 800, a square format. Of course, I'll create new design. So that way, I want to create a custom design right now. We have now is a blank Canva. I will have a blank Canva. As you could see, this is a blank Canva. You could change the color of your blank Canva if you want to. Change it to like anything and change it to, so I'll go back to white. So right now I want to create different mockups. So what I'm going to do now is to come to my elements. I'm going to use my elements to search for flyer mockup. I'm just going to search for flyer mockup, something like this, flyer mockup, and we have different things we could use. You could see right here we have frames, we have mockup itself right here. You could see we have mockups right here, so you could see all. Then you'll be able to see mockups. The different mockups, the mockups works as you could see, you could use it for anything. So let's bring something. It's a square format and we have to look for something to work with. So you could see we have a whole lot right now, and yeah, we have a whole lot going on right here. So you could choose any of these as a flyer, so we could just use that. So let's choose something like this. I'm just going to choose this and you would see it right here. Look at it right here. All you have to do is you could just increase it right now. You could increase it to fit into this what we are trying to do here. So it could come here and we have this. So you could easily create a mockup from this. All I have to do is to bring in the first version of our flyer. I could just bring it in and drag and drop, and we have it here. So all I have to do is to just drop it on this surface and it's going to fit into that surface. Then that way we'll be able to create our mockup, as you could see. But because this is not a square format, it will not fit in properly. So I'm just going to come to another page and let's do something that will fit in properly. So I'll come back to my elements to come, and we are looking for flyer mockup and we have graphics as well. You could look into graphics as well and see if you could see something you could use from here, but I'm not seeing any of that. So I'll come to photos. Then in photos we have a whole lot. We could use a whole lot from here. So let's look for something we could use, and yes, we have this, we have this, and we have this. So we could use something like this. Let me just try to use something like this. I'll replace background. I'll set as image background. So what I can do now is to bring in my frames. So I'll come back to all and I'll look for frames. I'll look for frames. So let me look for frames right here. You could use your frame as well to create an effect. So I'll just look for frames. This is the frame I want to use. I'll just look for something like this and let's see what we have here. Let me just delete this. Let me look for a better frame. We have device frame. So you could use device frame. This is an e-flyer. You could just do something like this. We could cover this up if we want to. So but let's see something we could use. So we could use something like, let me see if I can use something like this. Okay, so we are going to have this. Come back to upload and bring this in. So I'm just going to bring that in and we have something like this. This is a frame. So we have something like this, and yes, covering this up. So we could use something like this as well. You could create different effects. You could say splash. I could just look for splash in the elements. Let me come back to elements and say splash. Let me look for splash and see what we have. So we have different splashes, and let's look for the graphics. Coming back to graphics, we have the premium version of splashes and we have free here. So let's use this free. You could change the color from here. You could change the color to like let's say this. So let me just create something like this and let me see where this could fit in. So we could have something like this from here. We could have something like this from here, and we could take it to the back using control and call it and this bracket. So come back here, you could just say send layer. You could send to the back. You could see it right here. Send backward is what we want to use, so we could send it backward. So let's send it backward and we have something like that. We could create the same thing, control D to duplicate, and we could just flip it over. You could flip from here, so I can just flip it horizontally and it flips this way. Then I take this to the back again by using this and I'll send it to the back. I'll send it backward. So let me just send it backward right now, and we have something like this, which is not looking bad as a mockup as well. So we could create more mockups. So let's see another version of mockup we could create. So coming back here, let me try and create another mockup. I could just easily type square mockup. So let's have that. Let's have square different mockup and would see different frames. This is a frame. You could bring in that frame and you could see we have all. You could see mockup itself. You could see from here, you could see different mockups. So let's look for what to use from here. This is actually a mockup you can use. So let's see what we have from here. So we could use something of this nature. Let's see. That's what we could use. So we have different mockups right here. So let's use something of this nature. I'll just bring it in. Yes, that is in already. So all I have to do is just to make it this way. I could just do something like this. So I could do something like this, and we have something like this. Then I could bring in the upload. I could just bring it in this way and drop it in right there, and let's see what we have. So we have these and it's not looking bad. As you could see, this is a mockup as well. We'll be able to create two types of mockups and you could add more. So let's create more. Let's look for a frame. Let's look for a background first. So I'll just look for a background. I'll look for a restaurant background. Restaurant. So let's say restaurant. Come to photo. Let's see what we have. We have different restaurants right here. So we could use something like this. I will place this as the background. I'll set image as background and we have something like this. Then I will look for frames. I'll look for frames. So let me look for frames right here and let's see what we have. We have different frames. Let's say device. Okay, device mockup. Okay, let me just look for something like this. Device mockup, and we have different devices right here. So we could use the phone, we could use the laptop. This is a desktop. We could use the desktop and we could do something like this just to have a table effect as if we placed it on this table. So we have something like this and we could bring in that design. So I could just have something like this and I could just bring in this. So I have something like this, so we could have it here and yeah, so we could have something like this. Yeah, okay, so we have something like this into the desktop. That's a mockup as well. So there are different ways you could create mockups. Just find a way to be creative about it. I hope to see you in the next lesson. See you there.